Did the Germans invade Bexhill during World War II? Thank you very much to Julian Porter and Bexhill Museum for allowing me to use some of their material, which is a couple of interviews, and thank you to Peter Hibbs for allowing me to use a couple of his photos. So, the following story was told to me by an elderly gentleman who had been involved with special forces during the last war. It cannot be substantiated, and as the events involved were not witnessed by him, they are at least third hand. In Bexhill during the Second World War, the beaches were closed to the public, and mines, tank traps and barbed wire fences were used to prevent a landing. This part of the coast was thought to be the most likely site for an invasion due to the proximity to France and the shallow profile of the beaches. In fact, Hitler did make plans for an invasion in 1940, known as Operation Sea Lion, which specifically mentioned this area. This never occurred, as he attempted to invade Russia instead. The story involves a young lady who worked at the police station in Bexhill during the war. One evening she was walking home when her scarf blew away and became entangled near a military guard post. She went to retrieve the scarf and stopped to talk to the soldiers on guard. The conversation was interrupted by a siren, and the woman was ordered to return to her house immediately. As she was leaving, she witnessed a wall of fire erupting from the beach. The next day, she went to work, and on arrival was warned by one of her superiors not to look into one of the police cells. Naturally, she did, and she saw what appeared to be the remains of burnt German uniforms and a boot, which still contained the lower portion of a leg. Other reports claim that at this time bulldozers were used to bury burnt bodies in German uniforms. Another source from Bexhill was told from a further two unknown sources that there had been an attempt to land on Cooden Beach in 1940. The source said he was a retired superintendent at Bexhill in the area, and in the course of his work he had talked to a lady who had worked as a special constable during World War II. One morning she had come into the police station and found two corpses in wet uniform on the floor. When she asked what had happened, she was told that Jerry had made an attempt to land at Cooden Beach last night, and these were some of the dead soldiers. She was given the buckle off one of the soldiers' belts as a souvenir, but apparently passed it on to someone else at a later date. The other witness was his uncle. Apparently, he was driving him over to Bexhill via the Pevensey Marshes when the uncle told him that he recognised the area. During the war, he had been part of the anti-aircraft defences at New Haven. Together with other men, he was sent to Cooden Beach in 1940 to pick up the bodies of the dead German soldiers. He reckoned there had been a couple of loads of dead corpses. These were later transferred somewhere for burial in a mass grave.